Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of the FC Köln career mode here on FIFA 20 on PC, of course, with the realism mod thanks to FIFA. You guys really enjoyed episode number 1. Thank you for all of the thumbs up and the comments on that episode. Do make sure you hit the like button on this one as well if you're continuing to enjoy the series. Added a few names to my shortlist as per the comments section. We don't have too much to spend. We've still a little bit we could raise with the sale of Terodde. But outside of that, not looking like we've got much money to spend. And I have actually lessened the amount of money we've got to spend because I've signed 2 youth scouts. A 4-star 5-star and a 5-star 5-star, both costing between £3 and £3.5 million. So I spent a good 25% of my transfer budget, or my current transfer budget, without the sale of Terodde, on youth scouts. So we'll wait and see how well they do with this realism mod, looking out for some new young talent. I've added a number of names to the shortlist though from the comment section of the first episode so you guys can see what we're looking for. We're mainly looking for a centre-back, a winger and maybe a striker. We've got a number of names here. They won't take long to scout at all, just a few days. We've Valdemar Anton from Hanover, who just got relegated last season, so perhaps would be quite realistic for him to get a move back to the top flight in Germany. We've Mohamed Salisu from Valladolid and Stanley Nsoki from Nice, Lille then, from Nice. 3 centre-backs on the shortlist, all young, all hopefully within price range, but we'll wait and see. The realism mod does, of course, inflate prices of players. With regards to wide roles, got Robbie Macondo, who's currently at Schalke, although he's recently joined that team apparently. I will scout him though, just out of curiosity, because I've never heard of him before. Manuel Solomon, he's recently just joined that club as well, so unfortunately Shakhtar won't be letting him go. Ezekiel Barco, he's a young player that always gets recommended that I've never signed. Maybe this could be the time. Got players like Zaracho and Almada as well, who can play out wide as well as in the central role, both playing in the Argentinian league. Of course, Lukas Podolski has to be put into the mix. He's valued at £3.5 million. Would be available for between 850,000 and 3.9 million. I'm not sure how much longer is left on his contract. His stats don't look that bad. 74 rated, obviously excelling in shot power, etc. But as a rotation cam, he could be very, very useful. So we may well bring Lukas Podolski back to the club. Another wide player we have here is Jeremy Doku. Again, I don't know much about him at all, so we're scouting him. And then with regards to striking role, Valfredo Morelos, Javier Puado, and Maron Baudu from AZ Alkmaar. We'll wait and see what the scout reports say about those guys before making any definitive decision. A lot is going to depend on finances, as we don't have much money in this first season. But like I say, we do still have Terodde to sell, or maybe use as part of another deal, but I'd lean towards selling him. That would be the best use of our funds and assets. You always end up having to pay slightly more if you need to use someone as make weight in a deal. So we'll advance a few days. We'll get those scout reports back. And as if by magic, we've had a transfer offer for Terodde as well. Nottingham Forest, thank you very much. We shall try and negotiate a little bit more than 7.2 if we can. However, I don't expect to get much more because of his age. I'll ask for 8.5. Hopefully they'll come up to near 8. I don't want to pay much more. 1% sell-on clause. I am sorely tempted to just reject that for the sheer cheek of offering the same amount plus a 1% sell-on clause. They really don't want to pay much more than 7.2. I'll count to 7.5. If they don't pay that, I will accept the 7.2 that they've been offering, because I don't want to let the deal fall through. And indeed, they'll pay the 7.5 that we asked. That's fantastic news. It's exactly the way we wanted to start the episode as well. A training injury on the 1st of the month. That's frustrating. Hopefully it doesn't leave someone out for too long. Interest shown in a number of the players. It's Anthony Modesta is out for 7 weeks with a broken ankle. Right. That changes things. Interest shown in a few of the players that we're scouting here. And we'll have a quick look at their stats in detail, and we should now be able to see their individual finances as well as actual stats themselves. So hopefully someone will stand out as an obvious signing. Let's sort by position. So Valdemar Anton, 54 acceleration, 73 sprint speed. That's good. And of course, with the realism mod, we can now train acceleration as well. So it's not too much of a turn off. 82 stamina, 76 strength. How tall is he? 6'2". Okay in the tackle, 75 rated overall. Valued at 20 million though. That is pricey for a player that's only on $3.5 grand a week and he's in a second division in Germany. Not sure about that. 22.5 for Mohamed Salisu. Quicker, stronger, but not as good technically. 70 rated. Matondo, obviously, I could perhaps try and loan Matondo if they'd let me. It's rapid, not that good technically. Will they let me loan him? No, they won't let me loan him at all. Podolski, obviously, we saw his rating. And Jeremy Doku, he's quick, but almost literally nothing else. So that's going to be a swift no for me. He's not good enough for what we're after. Matondo, I'll remove. And Poido, we've got a scout report back on here. 82 acceleration, 79 sprint speed. That's decent. Technically looks okay. 24.5 million though. Everybody's very, very expensive. I could try and loan him perhaps. No, they're not interested in letting him come out on loan. I'll have to call my interest there then. Anton is certainly someone I'd be interested in. But whether we can stretch that far financially, I'm not sure. I am training players now. As per your your suggestions in the comments section, we've got Bornau and Ezebue who we're training, and also Cotsiello in central midfield. Now, as per the realism mod, training is half as effective as it previously was. So I'm not looking to have loads of different players trained at the same time. I'm going to have to concentrate on just one or two because we're not going to be able to get as much growth as previous. So I'm going to have to be more finite with the amount of players that I train to ensure that we get at least some growth out of someone. I'm really frustrated that everyone seems to be rather expensive. I don't really think I can stretch to selling anyone else either, other than Terodde. Maybe I could sell Hoga. Maybe. If I bought in Lukas Podolski, I could maybe sell Hoga. I'm tempted to bring Lukas Podolski back, even just because he doesn't look that bad and he's quite cheap. Let's do that. Let's bring Lukas Podolski back to start, and then maybe we'll be able to get another signing done. Now, it doesn't look like he's actually going to cost us that much money at all. My chief executive reckons I could sign him for between 850,000 and his current valuation. So I'll offer 1.2 million, and we'll see what they say. No? Okay. Well, my chief executive was way off then, wasn't he? We'll have to wait a little while before we're able to go back in for that. And finally, some more scout reports. Transfer talk. That leads me to believe that transfer talks have broken down between Terodde and Nottingham Forest, and indeed they have, frustratingly. So that's the sale that hasn't gone through yet. See if any of the other players we had on our shortlist are worth signing. And Soki, it's not that good technically, is he? Well, he's better than Salisu at least. But he's only 5'10". Doesn't lend itself to being a good centre back. He's not excelling in his jumping either. I'm going to say no to Unsoki. I'm going to say no. Manuel Sullivan we looked at. Ezekiel Barco is expensive again. Very, very fast. Okay, technically. Zaracho, it's going to be finances that stop us here from signing players that we think we should be getting. Morelos, 24 million for him. That's something we could maybe stretch to. And Bodu has had an offer accepted to go out on loan to, I don't know who that is actually. What do his stats look like? He's very fast. His finishing's not amazing. Could I maybe loan Morelos? They're not interested in loaning Morelos. I could maybe loan Bodu though. We'll try and get a loan player in. And just because of the injury to Modesta, I'll try short-term loans. We'll only have him till January, and then from then on, we can reassess once we get to January and have the money freed up from his wages come back to our account again Unfortunately, they seem to want me to pay absolutely everything. I'm not going to have much choice here. I'm going to have to pay everything. We'll get Bodo in, providing he then accepts the loan offer. It's not guaranteed that he'll come yet, so we'll wait and see. Torn as to what to do with Anton. I can't go in for Lukas Podolski again. Everybody else is just definitely out of my price range. I'm going to have to wait for the sale of Terodde unless I try and use Terodde in an offer for Benno Schmitz. That's going to be a no, I'm afraid. I might have to use Terodde in a deal to try and bring in that centre-back. I think centre-back is definitely... Bodo is accepted. He's in. Good. Bodo's in. Deal done. That's very pleasing. So at least we have one new signing in. I can't... How old is Hoga? He's 29, 76 rated. Drexler can play deeper. I've got Schaub. I have to sell to buy, so I am gonna list Hoga. Cossiello's grown actually, so let's see what we can do. If we go into the squad hub, we can sell Hoga. What's he valued at? That's what I'm interested to know. You guys recommended not recalling anyone from loan. Not recalling anyone from loan, so I won't do that. He's valued at 6 million with a release clause of 10. So that's not that much at all, to be honest, but it's certainly better than nothing. Now then, can I maybe use either of those players in this deal for the centre-back? We'll see what we can do. Player swap. Are you interested in Terodde? Simon Terodde. They are not. They're looking for a goalkeeper, a midfielder, or winger. Well, I can offer you a midfielder, certainly. There's a certain Marco Hoga. Would you like him? They would. They also want a large chunk of money that I certainly do not have right now. Would you please accept that? No. They are notoriously harder to negotiate with here in the realism mod, so we are going to have our work cut out trying to agree any deals. Going to continue to try. 24.1, they've come down a bit, but that would still leave me short wage-wise. How about 20? He's valued at 20, so the overall value of this deal is effectively 26 with that. It's 27.1. I'm going to accept that. A 23-year-old centre-back that certainly could prove to be a very capable signing and would go straight into my starting lineup as well. We'll negotiate contract terms. Now, he wasn't on much at all, was he, contract-wise? So we'll see what we can get done. Hopefully, he won't ask for much. Sit him down in the office and we'll see what we can... Yeah, he's only on £3,400. I'll say important. If he wants crucial, he can have it, but they're happy enough with important. 5-year deal. I'm quite happy to sign that. And then a release clause of 39.9. Again, I'm not a problem with that. That's quite high. And he's not asking for too much money. I'll remove the bonus and hopefully he'll sign that. 13. Done. £13,000 a week is absolutely fine by me. That's 2 signings in then in this window. I'm pleased with that. And he can go straight into the starting lineup ahead of Chicos. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, I'm afraid. So you guys will have to... let me know in the comment section if I'm getting it wrong. It's almost certain that I am. Anton, 6'2", fast enough, decent stamina, good strength, technically okay, and hopefully will improve as well. I'm pleased with that. It's our first permanent signing of the save. Now, finances are going to be an issue throughout the course of saves like this one, where we're playing with lower teams. Just don't have the financial clout, especially outside of England as well. But I'm relatively happy with what we've done so far. Loney striker, a first team signing at centre-back ahead of the first game of the season away against Wolfsburg. Now transfer for Jorge Mera, which I will reject. And actually, he's got a release clause there of 50 million. I'm actually going to go and renegotiate that. And I'll double check my other contracts as well to ensure there's not really anyone else that we'd be thinking about keeping that has a release clause. Katabak, 18-year-old. He's only 18 though. I'll offer him a new contract because obviously he's only got 11 months left. Similarly with Cherlinov, I'm going to try and keep the youngsters at the club if I can. Cordoba has a release clause. I wouldn't be too sad to see him go for 21 million though, so I'll leave that there for now. Jorge Mera certainly I'm going to offer a new contract to. Cotsiello as well. And Schaub. Right, I'm going to go and offer those contracts around. and then I'll see you in the first game of the season against Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg's starting lineup then: Kuhn Castells in goal, then 3 at the back. Knocker Camacho, Roussillon on the left-hand side, Asala up top with Mehmedi, and Weghorst as the main man through the very centre up top. So it's a 3-4-2-1 almost for Wolfsburg there. Obviously, you know my starting lineup: Hector, Anton, Mera, Ezebue, Cozziello and Skiri, with then Kainz, Schaub and Schindler sat behind Cordoba in for, obviously, Anthony Modesta, who's hurt himself and is out for a few weeks. So we'll wait and see how we play. Again, on Ultimate, with my more difficult sliders, which I'll actually show you. I can't remember whether I actually showed you them in the last episode, so I'll show you them now just to ensure you see them. These are the sliders we used on console and have been using for about 2 years now. 35 shot error down from 50, 15 pass error down from 50. These are all for the AI, for the CPU. Goalkeeper probability up to 60, run frequency up to 60, and then first touch control error down to 35. Mine are all still sat at the default 50. Now, with this realism mod, the gameplay is harder as it is. And we're now obviously artificially making it harder still with the sliders. So this might genuinely be a relegation threatened season for us here at FC Köln. We started a save on stream with Leicester in the Premier League, and that's been quite difficult so far as well. I will be streaming that later today. If you want to come across and watch, you'll find a link in the description down below to my Mixer channel. But I have no idea how things will go here at FC Köln. This is my first game with the team. Didn't play anything in pre-season. No idea who's any good, who's not very good, who's going to be scoring our goals, who's going to be providing the goals, how those goals are going to come. But we might get off to a great start if Schaub's first touch had been slightly better than that. Good move though, built really well, but it's with the Leicester save on stream, it was the defending that I was really struggling with more so than anything else. The AI were playing superb football, and Wolfsburg have started off in exactly the same vein, and Jonas Hector has to lunge back there to get the ball out for a corner. Klaus is going to deliver the ball in for Wolfsburg, and the keeper will catch. Hopefully Timo Horn tips away. Maximilian Arnold will continue to keep the move alive. Anton clears very nicely indeed. His first action as an FC Köln player. A bit fancy with a flick there from the defender, but still Wolfsburg threaten. Skiri steps in well. Driving down the right-hand side. There was some calls in the comment section, actually, for me to manually edit his pace, Ezebue. He apparently just broke Kingsley Coman's sprinting record, or speed record, in the Bundesliga this past week. But about a week after Kingsley Coman broke it in the first place. So he does have 95 sprint speed. So I'm quite happy to leave him as he is. Oh, Schaub very nearly gives us a 1-0 lead. Cordoba can't head to save his life. Absolute 50p head on him there. Very, very unlucky there, Schaub, not to give us a 1-0 lead. I'm quite happy with the way things have gone in the opening 20 minutes or so. Solid enough defensively, creative offensively. Hopefully, we can keep that going. There was a recommendation to move my wingbacks or my fullbacks to wingback in the formation in the comment section of the last episode. I'm not thinking of doing that yet. Cordoba tucks that away beautifully. The first goal of the FC Köln career mode, tucked away really nicely by Cordoba. Anthony Modesta was probably going to be my starting striker, but Cordoba has rifled that into the bottom corner really, really well indeed. That's a good finish. I'm extremely pleased with that. Oh, just inside the post. Is he right or left-footed, Cordoba? I'm not sure. He is right-footed, and that's only a 3-star weak foot with 73 finishing. If he can do that on his left foot multiple times this season, he's more than welcome to start as often as he likes. Roussillon down the left-hand side. Whipped well. And Mehmedi with a header, but Timo Horn down well to deal with it. Looking to fire back immediately there, Wolfsburg. 10 minutes before half-time. It's still 1-0 to us. And another 50p header opportunity for Cordoba there. Note to self. genuinely, don't ever try and use Cordoba's aerial ability because, well, there isn't any aerial ability there to use. Thankfully, with his left foot, he was decent there. Schaub will work this across and we'll try and build something else. If I can get a 2-0 lead before half-time, that'd be absolutely superb. No idea how this season is going to go. As we mentioned earlier on, Scary... I can't hold off the man. So, any points early doors in this season are going to be very, very welcome. With Borussia Dortmund to play... Oh, good save. With Borussia Dortmund to play in the second game. But we're doing really well in this first game of the season. Kingsley Ezebue getting a booking there. Really feel like that was yellow card worthy. But Kites will clear that away for a secondary corner here. And we'll approach half-time with the scoreline still at 1-0. But for how much longer? A little bit more. That should get us all the way to the break. And I'll gladly take 3 points from this one if we can hold out till full-time as well. Betisciri. This is nice movement. Cotsiello forward. Cordoba with a turn. I don't exactly know how he's kept possession there, but we'll take it. We'll look for him again. Shout through that gap. Back to Cordoba. How's his right foot? We'll have to wait and see. Blocked well by the defender. That's a good header, though. And Kites could get that inside to Schaub. Cordoba could get it out of his feet. No, we're still going to have to wait and see how good his right foot is. Not had the opportunity yet. Hertha Berlin are Wolfsburg's next opponents. Borussia Dortmund are ours. But will we go into it high on confidence? There you go. Next fixture. Will we go into it high on confidence from an opening day victory? Potentially still. Oh! Devastating mistake by Jonas Hector. I tried to just turn and then play that to the teammate next to me as I was battling physically with the defender that was with me. Finally got a bit of space, went to turn and pass it, and he's stolen it off me and drilled it at the near post. If we are going to get victory on the opening day, we're going to have to come from level terms again. Ball that out to Kites there, and then playing back in again. Now he's behind the man. Cordoba can make me a run here, maybe. He's thinking about it. We'll go backwards here just to free up some space for Schaub in the middle. And now Cordoba can make me run through that channel. I'll look to slot him in here. And Cordoba gets there ahead of the keeper and scores! A brace for Cordoba, 2 for Köln, and we might yet get 3 points. That isn't where I envisaged the ball going, but he's beaten the keeper to it. Questions asked whether the keeper had that in 2 hands. I'm not sure. But the referee didn't blow for a foul. And Cordoba tucks it home. You take what you can get sometimes. 2 goals for John Cordoba. We have ourselves a 2-1 lead. We were only back level, or they were only back level, for 13 in-game minutes. Here's Maximilian Arnold. Forward there to Weghorst. Roussillon turning back. Finding Maximilian Arnold, who finds Roger Asala. This is his debut for them, a new signing this year, but Schindler steps in there, and that might just be enough with his acceleration and sprint speed to wind down the clock and give us victory here. I do have a couple of changes waiting to be made, but I don't think they're actually going to find the opportunity to get onto the pitch. It's going to be 3 points for us in our first game of the season. I do not expect things to go as well against Dortmund in game number 2 this year, but to have gotten off to a winning start is very pleasing indeed. No clean sheet for our new centre-back, unfortunately, but 3 points is very, very welcome indeed. And a brace for Cordoba with his start gift. Wow, 5-0 Dortmund against Augsburg. They're in good form. Leverkusen 4-0 against Paderborn as well. We are 4th in the table, though. I wouldn't expect us to stay there for the rest of the year, but whilst we're there for the time being, we will enjoy it. Not thinking of doing anything else in the window unless I get any more bids for Terodde, then maybe we shall contemplate doing something else. But for the time being, interest shown in Almada, but we weren't going to make any moves there. For the time being then, it's time for Borussia Dortmund at home. Right then, Dortmund starting lineup. Berkey in goal. Schultz, Hummels, Akanji, Pusic at the back 4. Witzel and Delaney looking very Dortmundy so far. Sancho, Royce, Azar, but Karim Benzema up top at striker. A new signing for them. Paco Alcacer only on the bench. Lorenzo Insigne is on the bench as well. I would imagine it's Lorenzo Insigne anyway, seeing the surname. Dortmund have made some good signings in this transfer window so far. Someone very accurately pointed out in the comment section of the last episode as well that they've seen Paul Pogba and Marcus Rashford leave Manchester United. We'll obviously have a roundup of the transfers in this window a little bit later on in this episode as we see the transfer window out. But Pogba and Rashford out of United, Pogba to Real Madrid, and Real Madrid have offloaded Karim Benzema maybe to help fund that signing of Paul Pogba. Rashford went to Barcelona, so both Pogba and Rashford now playing in La Liga. At the minute, Benzema hasn't yet had a touch of the ball, but Royce scored 2 goals in their last game, and obviously we saw that they won by 5 goals to 0, so I'm expecting this to be a really, really difficult game. And they couldn't have started off much better, could they? The man that scored 2 last time is on the score sheet after just 11 minutes this time. Marco Reus with his 3rd goal of the Bundesliga season so far in just game number 2. We might be losing this one, and potentially heavily. At the Rhein-Energiestadion, it's 1-0 Dortmund. It's to Karim again. So dangerous, Dortmund, with all of the talent they've got in this team. Delaney, they're better than us in every single position, but you would expect that with Dortmund being one of the best sides in the country, and FC Köln not being anywhere near that echelon yet. Hopefully by, say, 3 seasons in here at Cologne, we should be able to hopefully count ourselves as one of the best in the country. But you guys will have to let me know how long you think it'll take for us to actually break the top 3 of Dortmund, Leverkusen and Bayern. I genuinely hope that we can do it by season 3, but season 1 I'm happy with anything above 10th, to be honest. No idea how this season is going to end. Kainz won't necessarily have a Kanji for pace or strength, but I could look for Cordoba in the middle, or even Schindler at the back post, who's very close to giving us an equaliser. Sancho driving down the line. Cross comes in well. Anton flicks away. Schaub battling hard with Axel Witsel and can't get rid of it. Royce can't make the most of our defensive mistake. Schaub around the corner and looking to get in behind there is Kainz, and Piszczek isn't as quick as he used to be, and he never was absolutely rapid. Nico Schultz, on the other hand, is very, very fast. Marco Reus looking for the 1-2 with Jadon Sancho and finds it. Reus has got me on the back foot here. Delaney finds Benzema out to Torgan Hazard. And get up! It's fallen over, but they still give the ball away here, Dortmund. Oh, and then I've done exactly the same. Jadon Sancho to Reus, the 1-2 has worked, and they have another. Oh, defensive mistakes and offensive mistakes, left, right, and centre. Neither side seemingly want to stay in possession here, unfortunately. When I've been making mistakes, it's been punishing me, and Dortmund have been getting away with it. Witsel intercepts Jadon Sancho with a quick 1-2, and then he's in so much space to bury that. 2-0 Dortmund. Schindler inside to Cordoba. Lovely run by Schaub. Are we in to get one back? Oh, that has to be a penalty. And given as such, yellow card for Thomas Delaney. Yellow card. Right decision, I think. Schindler's pace just too much for me. Tried to get there. It was Schaub even, wasn't it? I don't know why I zoomed in on Schindler there. Schaub in behind. Yellow card for Delaney. And immediately the opportunity to get ourselves one back. Now, who has the best penalty taking of anyone in the starting lineup? It is Cordoba. Right then. I'm going to go left. And I'll put it about there. I'm not going to put much power on it. And time it. Yes! We're back in it. It's 2-1. Right on the brink of half-time. 2-0 down at the break. And I'd have said we were done and dusted. But getting one back from the spot brings us back into the mix. Big second 45 ahead of us here now at home. There to Nico Schultz. Axel Witsel. He stepped around me well. And Benzema's in space. Onside. And buries it on his left foot. Didn't take them long to get that 2-goal advantage back again, did it? Dortmund make it 3-1. Witsel with a double step over here on a single step over. Read me nicely. Questions of whether he's onside or not there, Benzema. Timo Horn got down to it well. it was moving away from him at all times, and maybe that's what... Oh, he kind of got to the ball before he really completed the diving animation. Made contact with the ball earlier than I think he wanted to. Was still on the way, extending his hand, and couldn't push it around the post because of that fact. Lorenzo Insigne is on now here for Dortmund, and it was their goal scorer, Karim Benzema, that went off for him. 3-1 to Borussia Dortmund. We said that it was going to be a really tough game. It has proved to be exactly that. Doesn't help that I've made my own defensive mistakes. When you play against one of the best sides in the league, one of the best sides in Europe, you need to be at your absolute best to stand any chance whatsoever. And certainly, in that first 45, I wasn't anywhere near my absolute best. Thomas Delaney's gone off now. And you're not taking any risks with that yellow card. Julian Weigl has come on and is placed. Hector will get that in there to Cordoba's touch. Is good. Looking for Schaub. Oh, and I might get lucky, but I haven't. It drops free for Hummels. And Akanji will complete the clearance. An hour played. Half an hour to go. Still 3-1 to the visitors. Schaub through the gap there nicely. And into Cordoba on his left again. Similar position through the keeper. Mistake from Berge this time, perhaps. Cordoba is on fire. The only man to score a goal for me so far this season. 4 for him. 2 for us this afternoon. And all fans having a bit of an issue with the team, with a fellow fan there. Lovely ball around the corner. In his stride well, but I don't think the keeper expected me to go near post there. Obviously saw the last game, was expecting me to go to his left, and that's not good goalkeeping from Rafael Berkey. Just it wasn't very good goalkeeping from Timo Horn at the other end. 3-2, we're back in it again. What a game. Cross to come in maybe. He's taking his sweet time in doing so, but working the opportunity nicely, Axel Witsel. I thought I'd read him there, and Drexler will work that away. And they're committed, a lot of men forward there. Schindler will get that inside, and Drexler, tried to use Cordoba as a kind of barrier to run around there. Jadon Sancho, nice interception by Anton. And good physicality shown to keep possession as well. Superb work from the new signing. Kainz inside here to Jorge Mera, of all people, pushing forward from centre-back. He's had enough of defending at one end of the field. He wants to get involved at the other. Unfortunately, his pass wasn't good enough, and now he's out of position. Just getting back to that central defensive position now, Jorge Mera. We might need him again. It's the tackle on Julian Brandt. Early ball, space for Insigne. That's a gorgeous goal from Borussia Dortmund. Space offered to Insigne there. And the cross in was insane. First time from Nico Schultz. Didn't even know he was there, Anton. Flying in behind him at pace. And what a volley. Into the bottom corner first time. They're just that little bit too good, Borussia Dortmund. 5-0 for them on the opening day. 4-2 on game day number 2. I think Borussia Dortmund are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Bundesliga this season. And we're certainly going to have to improve if we're going to challenge the top half of the table. But with 3 points in the first game, and at least a competitive enough performance-ish in the second game against Dortmund, certainly could be better defensively. Some of which was my fault, some of which was exceptional play by Dortmund. I think we might be competitive enough on that showing for a top half position, maybe. Maybe a top half finish. Wait and see. We've got some scout reports come back there, so I'll have a quick look at those. See if we've unearthed any gems before we simulate the game against Freiburg, who are currently 6th in the table. Right, let's see. Anyone from the Netherlands? 71 to 96. Potential. He's 14, Lukas Davitt. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a 14-year-old. We've got loads of 14-year-olds scouted. A goalkeeper, 6'2", Frank Smits. I'm going to say no to him. We'll keep scouting Lukas Davitt. £550,000. At 14 years of age, that's a certain yes. I'm even going to bother to continue to scout him. Lars De Haan, 17 years of age. I'm going to say no to him. 62 to 88, no. I'll say no there as well. Before we even have a look at the German scout report, I want to have a look at this kid. Lukas Davitt, 58 rated at 14 years of age. Wow. Technically looking very promising as well. We might have an absolute baller on our hands. very keen to see how he grows. Now, would you like me to train him or not? Let me know in the comment section. Do you want me to leave him and see how he grows of his own accord, or do we actively train him? Training, of course, is nowhere near as effective in this mod as it is in the regular. Wow, 34 to 43 potential. No, mate. It's nowhere near as effective as it is in the regular game. And Germany doesn't seem like it's going to be that good for us here. Indeed, nobody I'm really wanting to sign there. They're out for the full season, though, the youth scouts. But, wow, Lukas Davitt. He could turn out to be an absolute player and a half for us. We'll wait and see how he grows. We'll simulate this game against Freiburg. Players leaving an international duty. That's just Cordoba to Colombia and Florian Kainz to Austria. Being in the top division, we will have international breaks. But the first simulated game of the competitive season. Oh, Jorge. What are you doing, pal? Who gets sent off after 4 minutes? Cordoba, still the only man to score a goal for us this season. 5 for him in the opening 3 games, and somehow we have ourselves a 1-0 lead. Schau picks up a knock, but he's able to continue. And is the 10 men of Köln? No. About to get a win against Freiburg. We're not. Uh-oh, we might be! Florian Kainz! With 4 minutes to go, we win! Against a team that had more players than us. How long are you out for? 7 days, Schau. That's okay. Jorge Mera causing us all sorts of problems there, but thankfully we're able to power through. Right, let's see what happens on transfer deadline day. So far, the biggest deals. Pogba to Real Madrid for 107.3 million. Lewandowski to Manchester City. Bayern have weakened themselves for 103.5 million. And Rashford to Barcelona for 97.9. Seems as Bayern sell Lewandowski. I did not expect that at all. Any big transfers so far? Nothing yet, it doesn't seem. Although that just took a big jump. We'll wait and see if there's been another one. A release clause paid for John Cordoba. I'm going to offer him a new contract. He's the only man to score a goal for me so far. Ordinarily, and even earlier on today, I said, I wouldn't be that bothered if I lost him for 21.3. On deadline day, I'd really rather we kept him. What's he on a week at the minute? 39.5. I will delegate and renew his contract. We shall keep John Cordoba, thank you. If he hadn't been as effective as he has been so far, I'd have let him go and tried to sign someone else right on at the end of the transfer window, but I can't risk it. I can't risk it. I'm sorry, John Cordoba stays. Sorry, Juventus, you're not having your man. But clearly, his performances have been showing that he's going to be drumming up some interest in him, John Cordoba. Any player that scores 5 goals in 3 games. An offer for Terodde at last. I will accept. We're not going to have enough time to... Joshua for Clemens as well. I'll reject that. We'll not have the opportunity to replace Terodde in this window, but it will free up some funds, hopefully, for the next window. Depending on the state of the team and the state of our performances. Actually, it doesn't look like it's going to go through, does it? It's not going to go through in time. Right, let's see who's done what then in this transfer window. Start with Mainz then. A little bit for them. Yaremchuk in. We'll concentrate mainly on the big teams. Benzema and Insigne in at Dortmund, as we saw. Benteke in at Fortuna Düsseldorf. Augsburg sold Kadira and signed Zamiletdinov. Bayern Munich have signed Iñaki Williams to replace the outgoing Lewandowski. Onisiwo and Silva. We'll find out in a moment which Silva that is. Also in. Grimes in at Frankfurt. O'Dowda and Leite in at Hertha Berlin with Stark and Dardai going out. We signed Anton and sold Hoger and Sabike. Not a massive window for us. Fernandez and Savic in at Leverkusen as Parampalo and Bellarabi move on. Wow, Mönchengladbach signing a number of players, but not actually spending that much money. Paderborn doing minimal business. Leipzig, Holzer, Johnston and Chalian in. Ampadu, Paulsen and Werner out. A lot of teams selling a lot of strikers in this window. Perhaps I'll pass that feedback on to Pfeiffer. Lovren in at Schalke, as well as Mandy and Carlinhos. Baumann, Bicacic out at Hoffenheim, as well as Vogt. the centre-back from Celtic in there. Santana and Jaeger in at Union Berlin with Promel going out. Wolfsburg, Asala in, Riedewald and Daka and John Anthony Brooks leaving. Perez and Eggestein out at Werder Bremen. I didn't think that they'd sell him. And we're probably not going to see... No, you... The lineup... Well, you're not going to play in the next one, are you? Because you're suspended. Yeah, transfer door's broken down, unfortunately. Oh, another training injury. 7 days. Cozziello. And the scout report, he was 58 rated. He's still 58 rated. But we'll certainly keep an eye on Lukas Davitt. I'm not going to be able to play him for 2 seasons because he's got to turn 16 first. But still, looking very, very handy. In the next episode tomorrow then, Mönchengladbach, Bayern and Hertha Berlin. But to start things off, to be 6th after just 3 games, I'm absolutely thrilled with that. I can't train Cozziello because he's hurt. So we'll train Bornau and Isabue instead. Actually, let's have a quick look at the biggest transfers of the window so far, so we can show you exactly who went through. So we've seen those 3. Marquinhos has gone to Napoli for 95.3. Luis Suarez to Juventus. Benzema to Dortmund we saw. Insigne we saw to Dortmund. Milik has gone to Atletico Madrid. Werner went to Real Madrid as well. They've really splashed the cash. Iñaki Williams we saw. Suso to Chelsea. Eggestein went to Inter. It was David Silva to Bayern Munich. Sorry, £40.3 million. Ruben Loftus-Cheek to Inter Milan. Soumare to Valencia. Palsen went to Arsenal. Mandzukic went to Chelsea. Oxlade-Chamberlain to AC Milan. Some big moves. Puado did go to City for 29.6, so certainly wouldn't have paid that. Coop Miners to Manchester United. Calvert-Lewin to Southampton. Rodrigo to Chelsea. Seen that one before, haven't we? Brozovic to Barcelona. Anton to me, including Hogan. Matip to Napoli. Ake to Spurs. Was Aya the Celtic centre-back to Hoffenheim. Bellarabi went to PSG. Wow, Berardi to PSG as well. Some interesting moves there, but we will end the episode 6th in the table. I don't expect that to last. Dortmund running things so far, but Leverkusen and Bayern hot on their heels. Similarly, Leipzig as well, and Werder Bremen are still unbeaten too. But for today, that's all for this one. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Do drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any further content. Click that notification bell as well to ensure you get notified every single time that a video goes live. And I'll see you in the next one tomorrow. Ta-ra.